Cam Radio, we go ham. It's your boy Tony G and Big Lou. I'm mobile. He's stationary. But we're making it happen tonight. Um, every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, the Sports Book with Tony G and Big Lou. Lou, what's going on? We got a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah, a lot to talk about tonight. Big basketball matchup with the women's bracket. Um, Up first, we're gonna
L-
have LSU. Number three LSU versus number one Iowa. Um, that's the big matchup everybody want to see. Caitlin Clark, Angela Reese, and then we got number three UConn up against number one USC. So it's gonna be some great basketball plays tonight. Or great basketball played last night. Get my days mixed up, but yeah, great matchup.
oh yeah, there was so UConn's number three, USC's number one.
Yes, yes.
For some
UConn's number
reason,
three.
I had it backwards. I was thinking um, should be really good. I mean, they should really be really good games. Um, LSU and Iowa, like you said, a lot of people want to see that from last year's rematch. Um, I think the LSU ladies definitely have a legit shot. What do
Yes,
you think?
yes. I agree with you, Tony. I do believe that the Lady Tigers have a great shot. Won't be easy because we all know what Caitlin can do, and she's got those girls up there playing pretty good too. So it's gonna be an awesome message, awesome matchup. But of course, my heart, I gotta go with LSU. No shade to all Iowa fans, but I gotta go with LSU and Angela Reese and her squad pull off victory, close victory.
What do you think about UConn and USC? I kind of like UConn.
I'm
I don't.
with you with that one too, Tony. I don't know much about USC, but UConn just to me personally, UConn just plays a better game of basketball. If it to me seems like they play a better game of basketball compared to USC. Well deserving because they're some dogs too, you
Yeah.
know. But I just feel like UConn. I think UConn can play better half court ball than USC. But that's just me.
Well, one thing that somebody asked me some questions before, and I think college basketball is in a good spot because, especially like the women's, I'm not trying to be funny, but they're making more money than they're going to make the big girls than they are in the WNBA. So they're going to stay. You know what I mean? Why would you take
Yeah,
a pay cut, make $2 million a year to make a $200,000 a year? It doesn't even. Right now
yeah.
you're in the spotlight, and like I said, no shade, but the bottom line is, um,
Product doesn't sell. You gotta sell the product.
yeah, you got to sell the product in order to get the money to be larger, but at the same time, uh, and you're going to see a lot of football. You're going to see some kids playing extra. Kids that go,
Yeah,
"Hey,
they're gonna play
I'm
four to
pretty
six years
good.
now. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm not NFL good, but I know I can make me some money and I can make some money in college. And so I'm going to play. Like you said, a 6-year senior. Um, I mean, it's pretty. I mean that part of it I like. Like I said,
hmm
like I said, you're making millionaires, and if they do the right thing, it's all good. But I'm sure there's always going to be, something. There's always going to be a backlash. So
right, right. And
that's just
it's
part.
going to be a backlash, and there are always going to be kids that go the traditional way, and if the NFL gives them that offer, that's their biggest dream. They're going to run to their dream. They're going to chase their dream.
Sure.
So they're going to always get their. I still think that the higher volume is going to take that NFL jump, but at the same time, I agree with you. There's going to be, I say, 51-49 about kids going to the NFL and kids staying and getting as much as they can before they make that route.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I totally agree. Um, and then plus they develop more, put on more weight. Just a lot.
Mhm.
There is some good aspects of staying in college for the extra year. Um, that's definitely something to look at. Now the men's NC State. If you got to believe in NC State, I have bet on them the whole way
Yeah,
from game one, and they have really showed me they can really play some basketball. Um, I mean, they are man. I mean, they're what are they, number 11?
yes, they are ranked number 11, and they're up against number one Purdue. Now, the thing about Purdue is, they might be better shooters, but the heart, the heart of NC State is what's winning these games for them. Like they're
Right,
playing like there's nothing to lose and we may never get back. That's the sweet thing about the underdog. Now, of course, they all meet their match to where, okay, you guys, heart can take you so far, but now you're on the big boy pay. You're on the big boy stage now. Now
right,
it's here to the NBA, so there's going to be a lot more going on than your heart can take you.
right.
But I do believe in them to be Purdue. I just think they're going to apply the pressure the whole game to where Purdue won't be able to get that lead on them to where it'll, slow them down as far as their momentum.
They're gonna, like I said, they've played great basketball. They're definitely gonna have to play great basketball to beat Purdue. There's no doubt in my mind. Uh, they're underdogs again. Um, I like them. I mean, until I'm gonna roll with them till the wheels fall off. That's all I can do. They have,
Absolutely.
because yeah, because I really think I think if they can beat Purdue, I think they win it all. And
Right.
that's my because on the other side, the other two that are playing are what's the rank over there? That's UConn.
Yeah, you
What is
got
that?
number one UConn against number four Alabama. That's
That's kind of weird because Alabama's never been. Well, I don't want to say never, but in the last 30 years, they haven't been a basketball force. The last couple of
right,
years, it seems like they're 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 starting to get some some serious recruits. Um,
right.
so that's definitely putting them in a better spot. Uh, that's definitely putting in a. So UConn men's and UConn girls are both in the Final Four.
Yeah, both in the Final Four. You both teams.
It'd be something if they both won a national championship, wouldn't it?
Wow, that would be incredible. That would be incredible.
It would be. That would be pretty. They definitely have a shot. Um, they definitely have a shot. And UConn, I mean, UConn has been playing tough. Men's and women, men's and women
Right.
have been playing some tough basketball. I really think they got a valid shot. I mean, like I like NC State. I really do. I know they got their work cut out for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I have watched some of Alabama. I'm not gonna say I watched a bunch in the tournament, but I have watched some. And
Yeah, I'm right there with
like
you.
yeah, there's four teams here that can go anyway, and that's what we always talk about the tournament is because it's one and done. There's not a
Yeah,
seven. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I don't
You got
think
you cannot. There is no room for error, and you cannot come. You cannot come at halfway. You got to be 100% for the whole time that you're on that court or that you're
yes,
in that moment.
right. That's the difference, and that's the good and bad side of the tournament. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
the NBA. And maybe we were talking about the Mavericks and how they how they lined up, and like you said, you made a comment. You said they can win a game. I don't think they win many with no defense, but you know what I mean. And like in the series, that's what it kind of separates the men from the boys. Now you
Absolutely.
beat me one, now you got to beat me again and again. Um, and
Yeah,
so
because
I
now
mean, you
you
know, like
figured out the blueprint.
yes, that's exactly right. You figured it out right. That's exactly. Um, Anything can happen once, but now it's got to happen, you know, 4 times. You got to win the best 4 out of 7. I mean, that's. But like I said, this tournament is one of the highlights that we have next to the football season. You know, the NBA Finals is awesome, and the baseball October's. I mean, you know, the hockey, the Stanley Cups, even. You know, but this, I like I said, we both talked about it. It's just such a great event, and it brings a lot of action. And I like that
Mhm.
you know, they played a tournament all over the country.
Right.
So a lot of places that don't normally get that level of basketball are getting that level of basketball.
Right.
This
They're going to
week they'll be,
benefit from it.
yeah, this week they'll be playing in Dallas. The men are playing in Dallas.
Mhm.
Um, I heard tickets were high. I heard entry level tickets were six
Woo,
hundred.
woo.
Yeah, woo, I know, right? Woo. But you know it's crazy at the AT&T Center. To be honest with you, it's not. It's there's really not a bad seat. I mean, it's not monstrous where you can't. Um, I mean, you don't have to. I mean, you know, it'd be always great to be behind the bench 5 rows up, but I'm saying you could be up there a little and still have a good view of the game. Um, I definitely, yeah, those tickets, like I said, that's definitely going to be something. Um, and then on the NBA side, we got Boston rolling and doling just like a machine.
Yeah. Yeah. They they're talking about a return for Embiid. I don't anticipate him being, full speed coming back. I think he's gonna
Right.
work his way back in, but that's a positive note. That's a positive note for the Sixers at least. But their owner, he's a piece of work. So it's gonna be hard to get other superstars to go in when he does the exact opposite of what he tells you he's gonna do when he brings you there.
Yeah. 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 That's very, very true. I mean, they're having a good year. It's not like they're not having a good year. Um,
Yeah,
I, I mean, like I said, you know, when Harding was there, they thought that was going to be, you know, the end all, the get all, but it didn't work out. Um,
actually, they booed him when they played Philly uh last night before last.
Really.
They booed harder when he got yeah, they booed him when he got there. So just to let him know.
Yeah. Very disappointed. I mean, I mean, I think now when they bring him in, I couldn't imagine that people get that excited about him anymore. Um, and
Yeah,
not saying that he's not a great player, but
great
he
player.
hasn't done any. Yeah, great player. He's going to score a lot of points. He's going to have a lot of accolades. He is going to do the damn thing regular season. Um, you know, when it's time, when it's that when it's the championship line, I mean, it's just not there. I mean, it's
Right.
just proof is in the proof is in the pudding. Whether you like it or you don't, I mean, it's hard for me to. Um, I think at some point he has, and which is fine. He's got the bag. Man,
Right.
he made some money. He made he made some money. He's been in the playoffs a bunch of times, and you know that was I really think that was more. I think at one time I think the championship meant a lot, but then it just was about him getting paid.
Yeah, getting paid. Yeah. And and I think once people finally get that realization into their mind that he's okay, because there's different levels to everything. And it just so happens that James Harden is a superstar that is okay with showing up for work, making the bag, having a good time. And, we just got to come to that realization. That's what he is. So when you sign him, yes, his value is high because, he's a great basketball player. But at the same time, you're only going to get so much. So is it worth the value to have, I guess, a plain commodity to your team that will increase ticket sales and things of that nature? But is it worth the cost? And when you're trying to be, a championship franchise.
Well, he's definitely a seat. Um, he'll fill the seats. A lot of people like to come to watch him play. I just don't think you get any jewelry with him. I mean, I don't know. It's just there's a lot of different stuff. I guess that is factors. Um, just like when Brooklyn had all three, sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Sometimes it's not a good fit. Um, and sometimes you can put all the superstars you want together, and they don't jihad, as they say, and that I really think. I mean, Brooklyn that was part of Brooklyn, and then the injuries was another part. Um, and that kind of personalities. The other thing is you got to be able to play together.
Yeah,
And I think that's where like Denver and Milwaukee and Boston. Uh, I think I think they got that they got a good team relationship.
right.
Memphis, I'm not Memphis. Minnesota, they seem to have a
Yeah.
good culture. That what I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
that good culture, just kind of it just kind of makes that it's that positive. It's the energy. Energy don't lie. What I mean? That's the name of the game, and that's why like I like I mean Boston is heavily favored to win, but
Mm-hmm.
and Denver's in the hunt. The Thunder's in the hunt. Imagine if the Thunder won a championship without. I mean, they had everybody at one time.
Right.
I mean,
And now they win a championship by, going through the draft and developing players. You
because
know.
remember, because Oklahoma could never get past Golden State.
Right. Right. Right.
Um,
That was the
and
stuff.
yeah, I mean they were and there was a star team, and then it dissipated. Uh, uh, uh what's his name? Golly, it just kind of
Yeah, kind of puts it out. KD left,
yeah, KD
then Russ
left.
left. You know,
Yeah, but
or James Harden left, and then Russ stuck around for a little while, and then they traded him off. Yeah, so they've been through some up and down. They had Paul George there. They had Chris Paul there. They've had some stars there. They just couldn't, make it work. And lo and behold, you go through the draft and you develop your players, and now they're going to be one of the great teams in the West.
yes, and I think a lot of that has to do with again building a Celsius a core of a team to build off of. What I mean? And that's kind of what the well it is what Golden State did. They brought some pieces in, but the nucleus of that team was the same.
Right.
What I mean? And so and I think that's really really important in basketball. They got to be able to get along and play well together. And I think that's something. You think this year is the last year for? You think LeBron's going to play one more?
Um, we might play one more, depending on how this year ends, but I do feel like he's right there where it's time to hang it up. You know what I'm saying? I can tell by his talk that it's that the work is wearing on him, and it's so much easier to do your other things like your podcast that you just started, which is doing well. Then you still got your production company and other things that you had interest in. Then of course you could be in both your kids' lives as they make the transition from college to wherever they're going to take them on the next level. So yeah, I can see him doing that.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, I was wondering if he was going to do a farewell tour. Remember the farewell tours
Oh
they
yeah,
were doing
oh
there?
yeah, yeah,
Um, he may, I don't know, he may, like I said, he's 20 years, and I'm sure, yeah, it wears on you. 20
yeah.
years of,
And
yeah, I mean, because
yeah,
I think, yeah, wear and tear on the body and I mean, um, because I think honestly, I mean, everybody's got a chance in the playoffs. I can't write anyone off, but I think the Lakers are on the bottom of the tier, with Golden State and a bunch of other people. It's not just
right.
them. Um, but I think they definitely, yeah, maybe. And he won one in the bubble in LA. I wonder if he retires. I wonder what happens to AD. I wonder if he
That's a
stays.
good question. That's a good question. The playing the way
I
he's
think he,
playing, if he stayed, then but I don't necessarily think that AD wants to be a number one per se. I think he's comfortable in the number two spot. But yeah, I think he'd probably stay if they brought in another number one or some of that cap.
yeah, he's a Robin. He's not a Batman.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
There's nothing
no,
wrong with it.
yeah, there's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with just coming in doing your job. You got camaraderie with everybody, but you don't want to be a leader because the leader has to tell you the bad part too.
yeah,
See, Robin cleans it up. Oh man, it's just he just saying it wrong. But when you're number one, you got to tell them to their face, hey, suck. You got to
yeah.
develop, you got to work on this, you got to work on that. And that's
That's
why a lot
true.
of people couldn't, take Kobe because Kobe was that alpha. And he was that number one to tell you, this is not gonna work.
Right. I mean, that's a tough. Not everybody wants to be the boss. Sometimes it's okay not to be the boss. Sometimes it's
Right.
better to let somebody to be the boss, learn from them, and maybe you become the boss, maybe you don't. Um, yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good. I like that analogy. Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I think. What do we got left? A week of basketball. What do we got left? We can't have much.
Yeah, it's about a week left before the playoffs
Um,
start or before the play-in tournament start.
yeah. Because that's. Let me see. Because I think we've already played. Let me see. Because I think we've already played. Um, let me see. Because we've already played 75 games,
Right.
74, 75 games. So we got about 5 games left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got about a week, maybe 10 days left.
Yeah,
Um,
about a week.
um, huh. Yeah, so we'll be right into we'll be right into the NBA playoffs. I like it. I definitely like it. But I ain't gonna lie, when it coming back to the NCAA tournament, I like on the men's side, I like um UConn and I like NC State.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ride with those two.
I'm
Um,
right there with
yeah, I mean, like I said, I know Purdue is bad to the bone. I just I'm starting to believe that maybe it's meant to be for NC State. Now, do I think NC State could beat UConn? I mean, it can be done. It's going to be a big order.
you. Right.
I think it's a big. I mean, in Purdue, Purdue's going to be a big one. I mean, it's going to be asking a lot. But like I said, I'm watching them play, and I'm just like, man, these guys are. Did somebody forget to tell them that they're a number 11 seed?
They got
You
it
know,
here. They got it. They got it in their heart.
yeah. And at this point, And at this
We're
point,
here. We're
you got
here.
yeah. At this
That is
point, you have to believe that. I mean, honestly, at this point, you go, we can do this.
right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
10 days ago, it was a lot of yelling, screaming, and emotion, and saying we can do it. We can. Now you've done it. You're in the
Right.
Final Four. This is real deal. You win this game, you're going to the NCAA championship. I
Right.
mean, it's kind of a big deal. You know what I mean? It's kind of just making it to the 16 is a big deal for an 11.
Right.
Making it to 4. Holy cow, that's an accomplishment in itself. Um, I think a lot of times people forget about that. I understand that there only can be one champion. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it stinks. I mean, sometimes you just gotta go, hey man, we had a good year. We have a lot to be proud of, and kind of go from there. And I think whatever happens to NC State, I think they've outlived I think
Yeah.
their expectations for the season have been
Yeah.
met
Hold your head high and
tenfold.
be proud. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hold your head
but
high and
just
be proud
yeah, but you
and
got
understand. Yeah.
I agree, but you got one more game. You got 2 more games left,
Yeah.
and
You won't.
you could beat Purdue. Yeah, so make the Cinderella shoe fit. So that's what
Right.
I like. NC State's plus. Of course, UConn's going to be negative, but UConn's been covering all the spreads. They've been very dominant. Very physical team. Shoots well, passes well. A lot of talent. Big school. So, all right, guys. I want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Like I said, if you guys hit us up on our Facebook, on our sportsbook Facebook, or the KM Radio Facebook. DM us if you have any questions, or if you're interested about us talking about your event coming up. Not a problem. We're doing a little. We do some of those business profiles where we talk about the business briefly on this. Just hit us up. Let us know. DM us. Call the radio station. More than willing to work with everybody. All right, guys. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Big Lou, Tony G on the Sportsbook on KM Radio, where we go ham.
Hell.